Alright guys, we're going to learn about food plots in the woods in today's video. Make sure you pay attention, there's a lot of information. A lot of guys want to do these food plots in the woods, but there's some techniques and things to it that you have to look out for. Number one is this sun pointing on my face right now. A lot of guys only have a certain area on their property where they can possibly put a food plot that's in the woods where I'm standing. I use this example, it's a little bit of a flat spot, and this is typically what I've seen. People send me, photos of their area, pictures of it, and they say, hey, I have this area, I'm planning on planting a food plot here. How do I do it? What do I look for? Or the opposite will be, hey, I planted a food plot here and it failed. What happened? How do I fix it? Absolute number one thing when you're doing this, besides being in the correct location, because again, most people can only do this in a certain area. So if you can pick and choose, then great. If not, if you have an area and you want to plant a food plot in the woods, you have to have sunlight, guys. There's no magic trick, there's no magic bullet to get around a lack of sun. I'm standing in an area where there's some maybe 6-inch diameter, 8-inch, some beech trees. You got some cherry trees over here, an elm. There's a couple cedars over that way. There's a couple maples, right? And a lot of guys will say, hey, I'm cutting these little 6-inch diameter trees down. They're only 20 feet tall, but then you have a canopy of 50, 60, 70, 80 feet tall trees that's shading it out. I'm gonna cut these small trees and hopefully it does the trick. There's no trick to that. Cutting the smaller trees is not going to help you with sunlight. You have to open the canopy up with the larger trees to be able to get more sun down into your food plot area. I would highly discourage you in this type of situation not to plant a food plot, because what's going to happen is you're going to plant the food plot, you're going to do a soil sample, right? So not only do you have the money on the soil sample, the seed, the fertilizer, and the lime, if you're doing it right with soil samples, which you should be, and if you're not, I'm going to give you a slap, because that's always very important to do as a soil sample, guys. Don't miss the step, because it's very important to success. Also guys, if you have ever planted a food plot in the woods, let me know down in the comments below. Let me know if you've had success, or let me know if you failed, and let me know if that's the number one thing that you have seen where the plants grow very tall and then just flop over from lack of sun. What's going to happen is you're going to plant all of this and the plants are going to grow, and you're going to see some green and be like, oh man, I did good, I have some green growing. What's going to happen is you're not going to get sunlight, and the plants are going to grow very tall, and then all of a sudden, without that sun, you get a weak root system, so that plant flops over. I see this dozens of times throughout the spring and summer where guys message me and say, dude, why'd my food plot, why'd the plants fall over? And that's why, it's a lack of sun. So in that situation, right, just don't plant a food plot, guys. I mean, you're wasting your time and money. You have to have sun. Even if it's filtered sunlight, you got to have 4 to 6 hours of it filtered or full sun. Open the canopy up. You got to cut trees down. Now if you're lease property, the landowner don't let you cut trees, there's a second option. You can come in and hack and squirt the trees. You're hacking the tree or double girdling it, and you're spraying a product in there called RTU. RTU will kill most of the tree species, and you're basically killing the tree standing, the leaves fall off, and allows sunlight to come in. That's another option. If you have the sun and you feel like you have enough filtered sunlight or direct sunlight, you can easily, you just saw what I did, get down to bare dirt, take a leaf blower, take a rake the leaves out, get down to bare dirt, and that's really all you got to do. Get a soil sample, you can spread some lime in there, and then you start planting. Usually areas like this are moist because of the lack of sun, but you get in there, get down to bare dirt, very simple to do, and you spread some lime right on that. A lot of times when you plant, you just simply take a drag, like a chain drag, rough that dirt up enough, and you can get something in here growing. Things in here that you could do that you can plant on limited sun would be clovers. They do pretty good in a shade, filtered sunlight situation. I would not recommend buckwheat. Buckwheat needs a lot of sun. I would not recommend brassicas. Now if you have that filtered sunlight, 4 to 6 hours and more sunlight you have, Then you can get into some brassicas, some winter wheat and winter rye. Winter wheat and winter rye is going to be your top priority in situations like this. You can even mix in some clover, and you can even do oats. Other tip with this is areas like this in the woods is most time your soil pH is going to be very acidic. You got to get some lime in there, guys, to fix that. Otherwise, you're going to fail. And then there'll be that guy that say, "Oh, well, winter rye is pH tolerant. It can handle a low pH." Well, yeah, it possibly can, but then most likely it's going to turn purple and fall over as well because you have low pH, and then you're left with nothing except bare dirt. You have no food plot. A soil sample is cheap insurance. Get one. All I want you guys to do is to not fail with this. And I don't want you to waste your money. I don't want you to waste your time. You can't get time back, but you can definitely get money back. But why waste either one? So you got to have sun. Work on it now. It's winter time. Get on it. Hack and squirt. Cut the trees. Hinge cut them. Whatever you got to do to get some more sunlight in there. There's a deer running across the field right there. See him? As I'm filming. And if you guys want a step-by-step process on how to put these food plots in the woods, check out this playlist right here. Me and Chris go over all the details on how to get it done.